The All Smiling Faces podcast is now sponsored by Tyre Spot, the Northeast's leading tyre supplier with branches across the region. Tyre Spot don't just do tyres, they cover everything from servicing to wheel alignment. They can handle every aspect of your car's maintenance. For more information, visit tyrespot.co.uk. Enjoy the episode.
Go.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the Always Smiling Faces podcast on the Gallagher Shots YouTube channel, and we are back. The season has finally started. It seems like an absolute lifetime ago that we're actually talking about a competitive game of football. But I am your host tonight, Chris, joined by Decker. Mark is back from his holidays, and Ian has joined us as well. And we're just going to jump straight into it because I was quite apprehensive in regards to the game against Villa before kickoff, Decker, but I was pleasantly surprised how well we did without a striker.
I think on the prediction that I had said, which I said 2-1 would get beaten. If I'm being honest, I was being kind there. I was trying not to sound like a dick and then go like 4-1 or something, because I was really, really nervous for the game. And I thought the lads played amazing. Like, if I'm honest, I thought we did so much right, certainly in the first half. I think when you think of all the noise, that they've had to put up with, and a few of the players have now kind of opened up a tiny bit and said, like, it has affected me. For them to be able to put that all to one side and put in that type of performance, honestly, really proud of them, actually, to be honest. I thought they were excellent. And on another day, you could have won by a few, or a couple anyway. I just think our pressing game was unbelievable, coming to loads of different stuff. I also thought Villa were a bit off it as well. So that, you know what I mean? And it's a funny one, because going into the game, taking a point, I would have absolutely took your arm off. But when it finished, I was actually a little bit disappointed. But that's not taking anything away from the lads. I thought they were excellent. I really do.
Where did you watch it, Mark?
I watched it in the Wembley Bar. Not the Wembley Bar. A bar called the Wembley Bar.
Has it got anything related to Wembley there at all?
Yeah, it's all like done out in
Cool.
soccer type of artifacts.
Right,
Any photos of Newcastle United lifting
the
the Carabao Cup?
There were shirts on the roof, etc. So yeah,
like a massive, like, 2 towers outside.
the actual one.
That'd be brilliant.
So no, I watched it there, and I think it's very interesting that you mentioned, Decker, the noise, because I've had 2 weeks of bliss being away from the noise and just not even thinking about it, caring about it, or being affected by it. And honestly, it's been brilliant. Like, just to not have to listen to all of the nonsense and choose what I want to look at and absorb. It's been wonderful. It's thoroughly recommended.
I bet it has. It's not been so wonderful here, Ian. But what I want to do, I don't want to go straight down to that Isaac route straight away, because I think we've spoken about him so much over the last few weeks, and I'm quite sick of speaking about him and repeating ourselves. There probably will be a question coming about him towards the end of the show, but I'm going to keep this one on a positive note as well. I don't know why I'm going to you, Ian.
Good luck with
that. But like I said, a decade, and Mark's mentioned there, it was pleasantly surprising, the performance that we put in.
Yeah, 100%. I was similar to you going into especially the start of the week. I was thinking Villa are a very good side. They've kept sort of the core of their team from last season that pushed us sort of towards the end, and just missed out on the last day. And I was really nervous going to that. It's a ground that we usually struggle with as well. And then given in pre-season, I was saying to Roger on the pre-game show, sort of pre-season, you could see where we were faltering a bit without that focal point in attack. So I didn't give us much hope. And then going through the week where it looked like we're getting players in, and then watching Eddie Howe's press conference, that perked us up a bit, to be honest.
I'm going to stick with you with that just because you brought it up as well. That press conference from Eddie Howe was probably the best I have ever seen, and how he spoke about everything and the background noise that was going on. he nailed it.
He's just full of class. Like you kind of in one breath want him to come out and call it for what he's at is a bit of a prick at the minute. But he just handled it so well, and it got to the point where it was like maybe 3-4 reporters in, and it was the same questions just worded in a different way. So I kind of felt a little bit sorry for him, but him being how he is, his focus is literally just the game that's in front of him. And he like you say, he put out a really good squad, really good performance. And like I said, on another day, you could have been at half time 2-3-0 up with the chances that were had.
I think you got, when you look at how as well, you've got to admire how good he's looking as well. I think he does this
at the start of pre-season.
He looks unreal.
He looks henchman at the start of every campaign.
Considering he died at the end of last season.
True.
Yeah, and he hasn't any time off, has he? So,
well, that was a question, wasn't it, about how busy he is? I think it was Andy Sixsmith that asked him that question. He was saying that he just hasn't had a break at all.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. Like he deserved one after the season that he had last time.
Everybody needs them. Like, everyone needs them.
You have about 20 years a year
because I need them, mate. You know what I mean?
No, that was just for
put it with him after
just in a month.
I agree. His press hour was amazing. Like, it was over half an hour, and honestly, it was at least 10 questions about Isak. It was like every time, and even when he kept saying, "Listen, like, it's not the time or the place to discuss that." I then watched the one at the start. I don't know if you've seen the one just before the game on TNT. He came over to speak with Crouchy and Joe Cole and
Dan Burn did.
Dan Burn did as well. And then both got asked, Dan Burn and Hal got asked the question, what's it been like with Isak, blah, blah. And Burn was very much like, yeah, man, like we'll get it. We've moved on. We're a great bunch of lads, blah, blah, blah. And Hal again had to say, listen, I'm literally standing on the turf of Villa Park. It's the game we're focusing on, not someone that's not here. Like,
they'll have been expecting that because it is the story, and that's, what they want in the girl, because they want to get a sound bite of him calling him a twat for the way that he's going on, or to come out and give some sort of update. But he's not that stupid to do anything like that. We all know how clever he is and how careful he is with his words. So you expect nothing less. As you say, he is just a touch of class.
Oh, he's amazing. He's unbelievable.
I don't think any manager would have handled that conference better than what he had done. Like, far from it. Like, he's like we could one saying he's class, touch of class that he has. He's fantastic.
Even when he's batting the questions away of like, it's not the time or place to discuss that. He even says that in a nice way. So he's not saying it as if like, I'm pissed off, don't ask us it. He's asking it. It's like, I don't know, it's just the way he answers questions.
For a fact though, if he did react to it, it would be straight away the narrative would be, "Oh, how's feeling the pressure? He's unhappy with the questions and the
It's such a difficult job, like, isn't it? It's such a difficult job.
In many ways, it's like being a politician. You've got to be very careful and choose your words. So he's just very good at it.
Decker, I'm going to come to you because there's a certain player that is. I don't think it's a difference in opinions in regards to opposite sides of the spectrum, but
I know who this is going to be. Yeah,
I think I know
Elanga.
Yeah.
So I'll give you my thoughts first of all. I thought you had a very good game in spells. I think there were certain moments, yes, where you could do better in regards to decision makings, and I think you'll probably agree with this one. The more time he had with the ball, you could see that he wasn't there. Probably very similar to Maxi. But when it was a case of head down run, pass a player, unbelievable, like absolutely fantastic.
I think it was very raw, his performance at times, and I think it's also the first game of the season. And let's look at, for a second, we'll look at it. Well, there's loads of teams that have played this week. Chelsea, for example, take Man City out of it. I wouldn't say any team have looked outstanding. Liverpool looked a bit shaky, and it's because it's the first game of the season, and I don't think anyone's fully, the peaking at the best. But he did do shades of stuff where he was just flying past players, really exciting. And there's other times where he's overhitting crosses. Like, I just could not even believe some of the crosses he put in. That was so overhit. You've then got that one-on-one chance, which I'm not necessarily blaming him for, to be honest, but people will point at that and say that's affected him for the rest of the game. There was one where it was a lovely ball over him as well, out wide. He tried to take a touch that bobbled out of play. I mean, that was Jacob Murphy stuff from a couple of years ago. It was bad, right? But there was a lot of good there as well. I think we are going to have to be patient with him, because I think we're going to see a few times where he might beat 4 or 5 players and think, my God almighty, this is unreal. There'll be other times he'll hit the first man or he'll kick it out for a goal kick. Like, now, for example, I've seen some of the media, someone said it was a really bright debut. It was exciting, fast, etc., etc. Got the lad sent off, and well, Gordon's great run, but his play to play that pass was brilliant. Then I seen someone else, I'll not say the person's name, Newcastle side of things on the media was saying it's the worst debut he's ever seen. Like, I'm thinking, whoa, this is like the contrast of what was that 2 videos.
That sounds like something he'd say.
I just thought it was just way over the top. It was way over the top. I think, no, I was quite pleased with it. I just thought there were certain moments where I was like, oh, could have done better there. But listen, you probably see that about every player on the pitch.
I thought he started off brightly, like as the whole team did in probably the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Like you said, Gordon had a great chance. Salanga had a chance. We could have, on another day, had 3 or 4 goals in that first.
There was like one. I think Barnes crossed it over and a volley, and he fluffed it. And I'm not saying it wasn't easy. He's like, I could have done better there.
It's rust, isn't it? You're coming in off pre-season. He's been playing paddle all summer, so he hasn't quite got his match sharpness there. There was a few moments, the one that you mentioned where he just doesn't control the ball. I mean, you just know it's not your day when something like that happens. I did think that the amount of times he tried to go through the middle of 2 players was a bit.
I mean, these Max used to give it the old shoulders, right?
So it wasn't the debut he would have been dreaming of, I think. But to describe it as one of the worst you've ever seen,
even I was
kind of get on board with that.
I think when he realised early on that he had it was Digna.
He had him on toast.
He had him like early on. I think at that point he thought, I've got you, yeah. Which arguably could have been booked early on, and he didn't get a yellow card for it.
He could have possibly got him booked, and then, like you say, that would be the game plan, is just attack him. But
it seems he knew early on that he had the legs on straight away. He's like, I'm just going to try this every single time until the second half. Then there was 2 men on him in the second half.
And they doubled up. Just to echo what everyone said, I thought there was glimpses of real sort of positive play. There was a couple of areas where he could have done better, but again, to say that it was the worst debut he's ever seen is a bit of
that had to be
a bit of a
stretch,
actually. Massive stretch. But again, I said this to Roger on sort of the pre-game show: is we're going to have to be patient with him. He's been brought in to effectively play up alongside his fellow countrymen, and he's kind of been thrown in the deep end where he's got Gordon as his outlet. And again, he's coming into a brand new team where he doesn't really know all the passages of play 100%. Had we had a proper striker on the pitch, maybe some of his balls would have been different. And again, that goes for pre-season as well. But I thought he did all right. There was a lot of positives in his game. Like I said, his ball through sort of caused them trouble and got a man sent off. So it was, I think the only criticism I would have had is his first chance. If he gets his head up, and again, it's easy to say now on reflection, but if he gets his head up, Gordon's there for a tap-in. But on your debut, you sort of,
I think
see your name in
what I love about him is he seems he can use both feet. He's very confident with both feet. Now, and that's something that really impresses us, because he was taking on what's the left back's name again? Sorry,
Digne.
He was coming in the left hand side and literally just completely like skinning him. But then he was also going on the outside as well. And that is, when you can go both ways like that, that's dangerous. Like, I mean, it's hard to stop,
Something different from what we've had to Murphy, obviously. Murphy, and then previous to that, Miggy always cut in. Murphy's always went on the outside and put balls in. So he's got that sort of balance between the two of them, just a bit better.
I think to move on to Gordon, I thought Gordon's off the ball work, starting that press from the front, was just phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Grafted his arse off throughout that game.
Unbelievable.
I would love to see the stats in regards to how far he ran.
Well, this is going to blow your mind here, because
is this an actual stat?
I actually collapsed.
This isn't a Decker stat.
This is a stat, and I collapsed, fell over.
Is it a true stat or
who
made it up?
Who covered the most distance for Newcastle United against Villa?
The fact that you're gobsmacked, it's probably going to be Bruno.
It was Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno normally puts
he
the
was
numbers in, like,
he was all over the shop
slowly, but
yeah. Well, he was awful, but we'll come on to that later. But Gordon was outstanding, I thought, in terms of his press. Really, because I thought in regards to, I mean, them played in my hands a little bit. They were playing it short. Our press from Gordon straight away was then activating everybody else. Then when they had the ball, we dropped in a solid 4-5-1. That 5 in midfield looked just on the telly. Looked incredibly
on the
difficult.
match reaction, you could have put a spirit level on
Couldn't
that.
you? And it looked so difficult to actually break down and get beyond and get through the lines and stuff. And I was really impressed with that. I was. But I just feel, again, I don't think for a second, by the way, Isak scores that Gordon header. Again, when I went on social, Isak scores that. Does he shite? Isak does not score that Gordon header. I'm telling you now. But I think, especially when they're going out with 10 men, I just feel there's certain moments in the game where Isak's run would have been just maybe a bit clever. I'm not all the chances we had in that game, right? I am not saying if Isak was on the pitch, we score them chances.
Yeah.
I just think there would have been other chances we would have created due to his movement and stuff. And that's not a slight on Gordon. It's not. It's just. But when Gordon went back out left, when it eventually happened, by the way, which we'll come on to later, I was unhappy with that. Immediately looked amazing. He took 5 players on him.
How many times did he get in the box?
It just
like crazy.
It's just different, really.
That then is the criticism that I have, is that when they go down to 10 men, we just don't react to it. That there needed to be a change at that point.
And what would yours have been, mate?
So there's a few questions coming in regards to mentioning Asula coming on earlier, because he came on for, was basically stoppage time. He came on for, wasn't it? Like a handful, like it was ridiculous. 6 minutes, I think he came, or thereabouts.
That was ridiculous. I'm sorry. Like,
do you think though, Mark, that's lack of not trust, but do you think Eddie Howe's got a big question mark over Asula leading the front line? Because if not, surely he puts him on earlier.
Yeah, but we've seen that all through last season as well. Even when you expect him to bring him on, he doesn't. And not just Asula, even when he's had Callum Wilson sitting on the bench there as well.
Do you not think it's a difference when you've got strikers available? Now we don't have any striker, and he still doesn't get that big chunk of, let's say, 15, 20 minutes of a game.
I just think that the way that he was trying to do was trying to invite them on and catch them on the break, using Gordon's pace in behind, Alanga's pace in behind. And that's where we were getting the early opportunity and joy from. But then I look at Asula, and Asula's no slouch. He's quick as well. We've seen that. So it just, in all honesty, I would have brought him on and kept Gordon on and done that.
I thought the Joe Linton and Miley one was the one I thought, maybe I would have took Joe Linton off and put Asula on.
A midfield change for me was where you needed to make it. Sacrifice one in there because
for a positive one, like an attacking one,
and almost not go like 4-2-4, but at least have Asula as that focal point, and then have Gordon in and around him or off him or something like that. Or you've then got the ability for Bonds and Gordon to interchange with each other as well.
Yeah,
you could have caused chaos by having even when no Bonds can go out on the right. And Alanga can come in on, as you say, he's 2-footed. If those three were just interchanging, going all over, they wouldn't have a clue who to pick up, where to be going or anything like that. But you've still got somebody in front of that there's always going to be a ball available. You've got triangles all over the place if you make that change. But we just didn't seem to. And I know Villa obviously improved in the second half. You expect that with them coming out after the first half they had. Yeah. But when you're going down to 10 men, You've got to utilize that extra person. The extra person that we had was ultimately in defense, where we were doing nothing. That they then relied even more on just long balls into Watkins to try and get in behind. I don't know, that just really did frustrate me a little bit with how that you've got an opportunity here to get at them, use your extra man for an advantage, and we just didn't do it.
I agree, and that's where my disappointment is where that's where it feels 2 points dropped. Them going down to 10 men with so much time left, and we didn't capitalize on that. Both from the players on the field, but I think off the field in terms of tactically, we didn't do the right changes. But I just felt Barnes should have been off immediately. Personally, I know you're saying keep him on. I'm fine with that as well.
Have the greatest against
no, he didn't. I thought he was struggling in the second half, and I thought, right, we now need to get Gordon out there and get Asula on. Because listen, I want to say something about Asula as well, right? Every man and his dog's telling me he's not going to be a striker, right? He's not going to be it. He's never going to be it. I'm fine with that. If that's what you feel, I'm fine with that. I'm not disagreeing, but to a degree, I'm going to. I'm unsure of this, like, sort of long period of time he's had this position of himself to play and prove himself. He's had a handful of preseason games where no one give a fuck, and everyone's going to me, he'll never make it. I mean, well, tell me realistically how many minutes has he played up front for this football club? I'm unsure, but it's not many. I can't tell you the answer, by the way. But just to turn around and say, nah, he'll never do it, I just think so harshly.
Do you think it's probably coming from previous club as well? Once again, he didn't have many minutes for them, and you
He
would
didn't.
expect that he should be getting more minutes for them.
It might do. It might be, yeah.
And
it
then
might be.
we just do not have a luxury of giving somebody like Asula a chance. Maybe now would
No,
do
yeah.
because of the situation
I
that
agree.
without a striker.
I agree. I agree with that. We haven't had the luxury. Let's say that then, right?
Mm.
So then I'm sorry, I kind of throw mud at his door saying I don't think you're going to be good enough if you're not really getting an opportunity to prove it.
What
I
got
just
me
find it so
last
unfair.
season was, and again, it was the likes of Longstaff getting more minutes than Miley, and then Wilson getting more minutes than Asula. If they knew, obviously, Wilson was going to be moving on, why not give him a chance?
And surely most of us from this, I think me and Mark are the one, believe it or not, me and Mark are on this, I think, on this side. But when Wilson was coming on, I was going, no, man, it was
wasn't
Asula
doing
I
it,
wanted
yeah.
because Asula is far from the answer. I'm not saying he's the answer. But I think when he comes on, you know he's going to graft, like aggressive as out. He'll chase balls down, etc., etc. You know what I mean?
And nobody can say to me he didn't do that in pre-season.
Yeah, I agree.
He 100% did that. Yes, his finishing might be a bit wild. He might not get into the right positions and stuff like that. He's young. He's young and experienced. The only way that's going to come is through coaching and minutes on the pitch. Ideally, you'd want him alongside somebody in training to learn from. We haven't got that situation at the minute, but he can only improve.
He's not as young as what people think, though. Like, everybody thinks he's like 18, 19-year-old. He's like 23 or something, isn't he?
Aye, but you're right. He hasn't played much for Sheffield United.
Yeah.
He hasn't played much for us at all.
But is that not
okay.
not a reason for that?
Yeah, well, maybe. Yes, maybe.
Like,
No,
Eddie Howe
He
maybe
was
did
Sheffield United 3 years ago.
Yeah, but
He
Eddie-
was a kid then.
Eddie Howe's
Oh,
had
sure,
a great opportunity at the weekend to play him for more minutes, and he couldn't, and we didn't have a striker. So to
And
me,
I think that's wrong. But I think
yeah,
that's
it's a
wrong,
bit
though.
telling.
maybe it's wrong from us looking from the outside, but maybe we don't see what he's like in training. Maybe he's not very good.
Well,
But
maybe
we
not.
do see that though.
I don't know.
No, in training we don't.
Obviously, we don't
You-
see
you might-
all of training, but
Imagine, like, let's say 11v11 in training, right? He's probably going to be one of the strikers on one of the teams. You would expect that. right?
Would he have done any worse than Gordon up front? Take Gordon's pressing, which Asula will do, by the way. Can I add? Take that out of it. I don't think Asula plays any worse than that. Like,
Well, I think
No
I
offense.
don't think we can say worse because I don't think Gordon didn't have a bad game, but
Well,
I don't think he's going to do any better than Gordon. I think it's probably going to get even, and I agree what you're saying. Like, Gordon is better on the left, and
He just is.
you lose everything from Gordon.
Yeah.
But I think he did. Gordon had a great game, to be fair, from what he was asked to do.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. I'm not, by the way, name banners needed now. I'm not throwing mud at Gordon's door yet at all because he's doing a job where I don't think he necessarily wants to play there, but he's doing a job willingly and trying his best. I just love it personally when he's able to come slightly deeper on the left, collect the ball earlier, and then drive at people. Whereas, unfortunately, other than the Alanga pass where you put him through, a lot of his work's back to goal, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's difficult for him. You know?
And you can guarantee if you want to play with your back to your goal, you want somebody that's physical, strong, powerful.
Which is probably.
And that man's sitting on the bench.
I agree. I agree.
The-
And again, I'm not saying he's the answer.
The only
But I
reason
just
why I
think he's
agree
better.
at this moment in time is so Gordon can be back on the left.
I agree.
And that's the only reason, not because I think he's a great striker or he's going to be a great striker, but it's just basically to get the best out of Gordon.
Yes, and I'm not knocking Barnes there either. I'm not saying, but I didn't think Barnes played well. I'm going to go back to what I said at I think the first thing I said was it was the first game of the season. Barnes is going to have Barnes is going to the season where he's going to be invaluable. He will over the course
He
of the
had
season.
that where it was later on into the box and you think he's going to whack that corner, and I think it's still travelling now.
I couldn't believe he didn't at least hit the target because
Yeah.
he had so much time. It was in his area. I thought this is a great opportunity, and as you say, he blew it. Like, but the second half was frustrating, though, wasn't it? I think overall, compared to the first, the first half, I thought we looked great. I have to now. I want to be more positive because I've been quite negative the last 5 minutes. Dan Burn was absolutely Maldini-esque performance. He was unbelievable on Saturday.
He was great.
How the fuck did I like Lanny McCoist? How did he give Shea man of the match?
Well,
and
it
I
was a big
shared a
joke
few
afterwards,
long
wasn't
balls,
it?
but like.
They kept on taking the piss out of Ali McCoy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
kept on taking the piss out of him. But yeah, Dan Burn, do you know what is? I keep on saying, and I've said it towards the end of last season, I was worried about the centre backs going into this season, and if they could repeat what they did. Dan Burn started the season off perfectly there.
Yeah, he looked.
Well, both of them did really.
they didn't really put a foot wrong, and I was quite, again, worried, shock, with how Watkins had Shaw all over last season in the 4-1, where he was sort of just drifting into that inside left position, and then beating Shaw for pace and getting shots off. But I thought both centre halves dealt with them incredibly well. There was, I think it might be in the first half, I think it was McGinn looked like he was in down the right, and Burn just came over, just not clattered him, but clattered the ball out. And that's what you love to see. So
his eyes lit up when he saw that.
But yeah, I thought both centre halves really, really solid performance. And then I think the midfield three as well. I think I always thought Villa last season were very good at dictating possession, keeping hold of the ball well. I think obviously our press contributed to them, but they were just giving the ball away for fun. And as soon as we had lost possession, the turnover getting that possession back was almost within 3 to 5 passes. Especially the first half as well. So I think the midfield deserved a lot of credit, because I thought that's where it would have been won or lost. Obviously, it was a draw. But
I thought the full back four were magnificent. I thought Trippier was outstanding. I love Trippier, but he was mint. And I thought Tino was equally as good on the left. I thought the back four were as good as you could get, honestly.
I agree.
Let Mark must have something to say about Burn.
Chair of the Dan Burn fan club.
I have sat here and championed Dan Burn for many a year. And it's just
even
nice.
at left back.
I think that's always been the issue, hasn't it?
Just nice for you to fully appreciate.
We're not going down this argument again, because we all appreciate Dan Burn, but at centre back,
he was
great.
He was great.
Yeah, he really was. I want to talk about the midfield three. Mark.
Sandro Tonali, have my babies.
He's having
unbelievable.
So Sandro,
absolutely unbelievable.
Sandro, do you know, there's all this talk about Isak being Newcastle United's best player. Sandro, man,
he's unreal.
It's Sandro. It has to be.
He's just Ferrari. I'm gonna have to say Ferrari, because you would say Rolls Royce in that instance but he's Italian. He's just
he's
absolutely incredible. He just makes it look so easy and effortless. Everything he does, and he looks fantastic doing it until he smiles.
He looked a bit more rugged, I think, this season.
That beard.
I think I was off the ball was. Sorry, some of the moments I was sort of seeing more was off the ball in terms of shutting down the space or tracking back at the right time.
Yeah.
That's where the bits where I was like, wow, that was really good. And I love him playing that more holding role personally. He's just absolutely. Now, I think Craig Hope on Twitter when he was the best player on the pitch. I still thought Burn was, but perhaps maybe from a more tactical sense in terms of what you're doing, as you've mentioned, the midfield and such a good job. I think Tonali's the sort of the.
He dictates the game, doesn't he? He was, like you say, he's breaking up everything. He just seemed to be in the right position all of the time.
He's the
to do it.
Midfielder.
What do you call the guys that do that with a
orchestra?
Did I say orchestra?
Conductor.
Well, the orchestra is the actual
orchestrator. Is that a word?
Orchestrator, yeah.
Anyway,
the conductor is the.
I feel he's more like that. He's more like the conductor, and as you say, he's got such an engine on him as well, hasn't he? He can get it all over the pitch.
He gets around the pitch.
Yeah,
for his stature, you don't really think he's rapid, but he's got some pace about him as well.
He's
I tell you who does not have pace, and I fucking love Bruno, and I put it in our WhatsApp group. Do you know when a player's got the ball and or the lose possession, they've got to turn quickly and get back? I have never seen anybody turn as slow as Bruno. It's like he just shuts down and goes, right, hang on, I need to think about where the ball's gone. Then he goes. I love him a bit, and I think Bruno had spells where he was good, but then I think it was Tielemans took the ball off him about 4 or 5 times.
He got caught.
He was constantly so slow in possession. You're thinking, Bruno, remember, this is not pre-season. You're not going to have the time that you think you got. And there's a couple of times where Tielemans was like, thanks very much, my ball.
And that was the difference last season. Is in midfield, they really did overrun us and get that ball and get onto it really quickly. But I think the work rate of Joel and Tonali in there, and Bruno for some of the game as well, is that it really did help those things, and we just, like you say, got into the positions where we were intercepting stuff. The amount of times they won the ball back really high up in the pitch in dangerous positions as well. It was great, like you say, back four, that three. The front three is probably where it did go a little bit missing. But again, you kind of complain for what they did in that first 30-minute spell. It could have been very, very different. It's then a different task to continuously do that throughout the 90 minutes, and then particularly against the team that are in the ascendancy in the second half, wanting to get back in the game, but then have to then sit back and defend for their lives and make it really difficult for us.
What I did want to mention with Bruno as well, and it's going back to Eddie Howe's press conference, Decker, as well, just how highly Eddie spoke of Bruno. Because he goes on a bit of a rant about how he only wants players.
Pants were a bit tight.
Shut up. He goes on a bit of a rant, Eddie Howe, about how he wants players that are desperate to play for Newcastle. And he said every player we've brought in is that sort of player. And he says, you just need to look at Bruno.
Yeah. And it was lovely because I'll not go down this route, but I'll mention it. Someone talked about Longstaff and Wilson about losing their experience, and how almost said, I'm glad we're now speaking about these players because everything's been about Isak, and I actually really wanted to mention these two. And I think he did that because I think the interviewer asked him, didn't he, going like, is it important that you get players that want to come to the club? And then he just went waxing about Bruno. And it's absolutely right, because there's not many players, certainly that aren't from this area, that come in and show the passion that he shows. Like he's crying he was like this really early on, wasn't he? You know, he was crying when he missed that penalty. You seen him at the final, how much it meant to him when we won. It was as if he was one of us. You know what I mean? It was incredible. And I remember when Bruno said that. Sorry, apologize. When Howe said that, and I thought, you know, it's this season, I'm not going to have anything bad said about Bruno. Let's just have it. And then about 20 minutes in, I was like, fuck now, Bruno. But no, listen, again, he'll have, it's early days. It's the first game. He's probably not up to the actual top of his ability, if you like. He's just slow, isn't he? He is slow. Yeah. He is slow. He looks slower again, I thought, on Saturday. Certainly running after the ball. You know, if he loses it, he's not catching. Anyone could be in front of me and catching them, like. But he will have moments. It wouldn't surprise on Monday if he's the person that unlocks the door, as in a pass or whatever. He's such a huge, important forward. He just had a poor game on Saturday.
I just thought it was a really nice moment from Eddie. Yeah, like you said, the noise with Isak and basically down in tools, refusing to play for the club. Then obviously Eddie just flipped that around and go, well, just look at players like Bruno that are desperate and they've just basically absorbed everything and the living Newcastle United, and that's exactly what you want from your players.
And this is a player that 12 months ago, the very same press were trying to sell. So it just shows you, and it just goes rounds and circles.
It's going to happen again with Tonali.
Yeah,
it will happen because he's arguably the best that we have in terms of that. You know, so it's going to happen, isn't it? You know, but we just got to
disruption, isn't it? And as I say, that's why it's sometimes just to block out that noise and just not listen to it.
If anybody does have any questions, send them our way, and we'll go through a big chunk of questions. Decker has a question. I like how you raised your hand.
What on earth was that kickoff about?
Oh, the PSG kickoff.
The one we did.
That's how PSG kicked it off.
What's it's not rugby like?
Yeah,
surely you would.
Just hiding it in the corner.
Surely you would rather keep the ball and everyone have a touch and relax.
Do you not remember when we used to do that all the time, though?
Well, shite then.
We used to constantly do it.
And we never won a game.
Pump it out into the left-hand corner.
Was that Pardew days, wasn't it? I'm sure it was. Or maybe before that. It was awful.
Oh, yeah, it does sound familiar.
I remember a few times we were trying it.
Mate,
it was. Awful. It's obviously like the idea of it is you put it in there and you squeeze up the pitch and you straight away.
It's worked once in our entire life. I'm going to say it was Tottenham away. Sammy Omi scored. I'm sure we'll lump it long then. Straight after half time, we'll score within a second. Right. That's the only time.
We used to do it under Robson.
Yeah, a lot of clubs have done it over the years, like for that very reason.
Back in those days, it was kind of
like we understand why there's people coming in saying it's to get the ball like high up the field. Like we know that.
We know that. That is not going to work.
You're just handing over possession straight away, aren't you?
You're just handing over for a throw-in. I'm telling you now. I'm going to put anything you want. We will not score a goal from that this season.
So obviously it leads with down nicely to the next question. This is something that has not been sent in, but I want to address it. Is we have a new set piece coach in. God. So that's obviously something from kickoff and the free kick where Dan Burn and Fabian Shaw just get so confused to the point where Fabian kicks Dan Burn.
Wait, I was on my way up to Rios on Saturday, so I listened to the second half in the car.
Which one?
The one in Jesmond. Apparently, I was a meat maestro, according to some friend.
All right.
But I just put away so much meat; it was unbelievable. Anyways, I digress.
What do you do at Reels? You knew that was coming.
Anyways, Ando was just saying like the amount of free kicks that were had that just looked so complex and that weren't working. He was like, just do something simple with it. But apparently Byrne went to volley it, or Shaw went to volley it, and then hit off one of the toe and went out for a goal kick or something. Like you said, early days. Maybe that's just like the super complex they're trying to get out the way with. But
I think the actual move itself was executed. The problem was as the ball went up in the air and Burns focused on the ball and not aware that Share's coming in behind as part of that move, because he's looking for the second ball.
I think what's happened, I think Dan Burns just got confused with it. I think that's what it is. Because if Dan Burns not there, Fabian just putting that straight back into a danger area.
Well, there's a few, because it goes up though, isn't it? That's why he's there.
Yeah. There's a few things for me are, if you're learning these on the training ground, then Shea should know Burns there, or Burns should know Shea. Yes. So one of them perhaps shouldn't be there. Perhaps. So
he does get questioned about a Burn after.
Did he? What did he say?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Okay.
I think it wasn't anything of note.
Of note like that.
Yeah, it was
so
just like I think he mentioned that we've got a new set piece coaching and something. He went, he said, he kept on deflecting and saying, I thought it was a good tackle. That's what Burn was saying.
Okay, make a joke of it, which is fair. But it's like an NFL playbook, isn't it? It's like at that moment in time, it's like the free kick getters at a quarterback, and these players are making all these runs, blah, blah, blah. There was another one they did where I believe they went short, passed it, and then Shea to shoot.
Yeah.
Again,
by that time, I think the defender had closed them down.
I'm thinking that'll take some doing to pull it off. But listen, a lot of times under the old days where we used to just throw it to Mike Williamson at the back post. They're trying things, right? And I'm fine with that. Just I think if we can execute them better, of course, great. But
can you remember? I think might have been the first full season of Howell when he had just took over, where we went. I'm sure there was like 4 or 5 games in a row where we tried something different.
It was from corners.
Yeah,
Tyndall was setting up them for corners, wasn't he? Yeah.
I remember one where I think it was against Brentford, maybe, and I think Miggy tries to play the corner. He almost plays the ball short to Trippier, and he manages to get. I think it may have even deflected, and then someone heads it in back post. But there was a brief time where we went through. About 4 or 5 games where we
went through a spell with Colaccini where we used to try and ping it out of Colaccini on the edge of the box to head
it. Yeah. I'm all for that, because I think that it's another side of the game which is evolved, hasn't it? In modern football, it's evolved.
Arsenal so good at it, aren't they?
It's evolved, and it's a real opportunity to score a goal. It really is.
I do think for the amount of players that we'll have that are big lads, like Joe Linton, Burn, Shea, we are very poor, but like specifically heading set pieces.
I agree. Yeah, I think we've mentioned this for God knows how long. We don't look dangerous from set pieces, which is why, like, when we get free kicks, I would like to see Tonali have a go.
I really don't understand that one, because he was the set piece taker for Milan before he came over. He takes them for Italy. He never gets a sniff. Yeah.
There was at one point we got a free kick against Villa, and there's about 5 of them waiting to take it. And I'm thinking, lads, sort out between yourselves.
There's been a couple last season where they've been sort of Trippier range, and then they've given it a Shea, and he's either just smashed it straight into the wall or over the bar. But yeah, even like Trippier, his goals from free kicks, they've dried up as well.
Shall we go through some questions?
Unlike his love wife.
Did you see the chant from the away end?
Fantastic.
Shags if he wants.
Turn around and
right, the first question is from we'll go with Josh's as always, because Josh has sent in a donation. Thank you very much, Josh. He says, would you start Joe Linton up front against Liverpool if we don't sign Wissa in time?
Josh, put the drink down.
Well, it's better than his questions last week.
Put the cans down.
Do you want to know what you asked last week? Would you sign Jamie Vardy or Danny Ings? We love you, Josh. But the rest of his question says,
at least we're definitely not getting Calvert-Lewin's. He's gone to Leeds.
He says, he might not be a great finisher, but he's a different player compared to when we first signed him. He's a handful and he can hold the ball up. Josh, I appreciate your donation as always. Stop saying questions in about strikers, mate. Because
you know what it is, though.
I'd rather have G-Rubber back.
There was a moment during that game that I was like, would it be worth putting Joe Linton up front?
No, never.
No, but given the fact that Gordon was proven pretty...
Never.
Like...
Never.
You're just looking for that. But then that even ask the question is, why isn't he bringing bloody
Asula
on?
100%.
Jordan did he was back with the bank because he missed quite a few games, didn't he? Towards the end of last season, but he's back with a yellow card, just like we like.
Yeah, I had him on my bet, so yeah, it was great.
Yeah, you knew that was coming because he gets fouled just before it, doesn't he?
He does.
And he for fine ways. Yeah, I'm going to take it out on the next one.
Yeah.
The referee knew that was coming as well.
Yeah.
So he was back with.
Joe has to stay where he is. I just think
he's too valuable there.
Also, I just feel he's been out of that position of striker for so long. I just feel
he's never really in it.
Well, I know I didn't want to be nasty, but I just feel everything about him it just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. Plus, we need someone to be able to press from the front. It's so important. Joe Linton couldn't press. I know, listen, he gets around the field and the guy's an absolute monster, but he couldn't press the way that would need to and stuff. So.
He does follow that up, Josh, by saying, plus Gordon is wasted up front and better out wide.
He is. I keep saying that all the time. And I know he can do a job there, but he is wasted.
I'm going to follow that straight up with the next question, which once again, it is striker related. And this is from Blue Rhythm Boy that says,
living up to his name, eh?
Is it time to walk away from Wissa? His attitude stinks and Brentford trying to have our pants down. So it's been reported that Brentford have now added an extra 10 mil onto the fee in the 155 to 60 million for Wissa now, a player that is 28 years old, I believe, and 1 year left on his contract.
I'm confused by his attitude stinks comment.
Well, he's just
blocked them all on Instagram, apparently.
He's took his profile picture off. He's removed everything to do with Brentford, completely off his social medias. You
didn't know about that, did you?
And people are saying, obviously,
I'm looking at the fact that he's still training. He's still available to play. He's going about it in the right way. If there's the social media side of it,
eventually, we've got to remember, he was refusing to train to start with. Now he's back in training, but now I'm guessing there's been some sort of conversation behind the scenes again with Wissa and Brentford to the point where they've said, well, you're not going anywhere unless Newcastle pay this amount of money for you, which is more than what he was expecting, probably, from what we're led to believe. And now, like I said, he has basically removed his photo from Instagram, so it's just a black circle now, like a void picture, and he has unfollowed Brentford on his Instagram account, which
like a
screams bunny boiler at you, like, but fuck me, like, that's Facebook shit, that, like.
It's just the modern football. It's just mental, isn't it? But
are you worried about that, though?
Wait, is that even him that, like, thingies his account? Does he not have, like, a management company that's...
I believe he would, but I would think he's probably texting going, move my picture off.
What's my password again?
It doesn't worry me at all, to be honest, because I'm not trying to be awful here, but the guy's 29, right? Yeah, coming up. If he signs for us for 3-4 years, do you honestly think when he's 31 that Real Madrid's going to come in from?
No, I don't mean worried about him coming to Newcastle. I'm worried about football.
Football.
Like, you've got Isaac doing it with us. You've got Wissa that's done it to Brentford.
Well, listen,
Crystal has been going on for years and years and years. It's nothing new.
Suarez did it. Kane did it. Rooney did it.
Yeah.
What I will say though, it does feel this summer's been a bit more old school for that, because I haven't really listened. It may have happened. Recently, and I've been unaware. But I do feel, maybe because the Isak one's in my face every minute of the day, that's why it seems so large. But the Whistler situation, from what I know, like, them have said to him he could leave. So he stayed when Abramo he stayed for that 1 more year, and then they've said you can go if a Champions League club comes in for 27 or 30 million pounds. We've done that, and they've went, no, we've got to get a replacement. They then get a replacement. They go, actually, no. He's a replacement from Abramo, not you. We want 60. I'm sorry, like, how are you? How many times are you going to move the goalpost? Now, I'm not saying he has to delete his profile picture and go in a huff and go all Karen on me. I'm not saying that.
Proper Facebook man.
Andy is commenting saying he's acting like he's waiting for someone to ask him, you okay, hon?
DMs.
It's like when people tag themselves in a hospital, isn't it?
It's in situations like this, though, and this goes for Isak as well as that. If you are that adamant you want to leave the club, do the right thing and put in a transfer request. It just shows you that they're more worried about the pounds and pence than they are about ultimately where they want to go. And that will be coming from their agents. And I'll say this for Isak as well. They are 100% being badly advised by their agents. There's no way he would choose to do these types of things.
Do you know what it is, though, right? I'm keep hearing this about agents. I get it. You're in control of what you do. Just because the agent says, well, just stop doing it, doesn't mean you've got to fucking do it.
No,
Like,
but-
both acting like utter tossers.
But he's taken that advice on the fact that he wants to get the best deal possible. He doesn't want to give up his bonuses. He doesn't want to give up X, Y, and Z. That
Which is
would be owed to him.
mental. How fucking greedy are they?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But his agent, if his agent, he should be annoyed with his agent that his agent hasn't put I said, 80 times there. He hasn't put in a release clause.
Who hasn't done it?
His agent. He hasn't put a release clause in his contract and got that sorted. He signed a 6-year deal on a deal that he probably knew he wasn't going to happen with in 3 years' time. And listen, if my agent said to me, you know, I can get you a move there for 350 grand a week,
The fuck's your agent?
right? And I'd be like, right, that's sound. And then he goes, I don't want you to turn up for work tomorrow, though. No. I'd be like, no, I'll wait you. Like, I've still got to do.
No, but
come on, he's a grown man here, man.
Nah. Well, he is, but ultimately,
Nah.
the agent will be telling that. Liverpool will absolutely be doing it as well.
Of
We
course, I'm
don't
not
want to
saying-
pay 150 million, so go on strike, refuse to play, say that you're unhappy. Let's feed the media with loads of so that they'll.
But
We
he's
have
still,
to be backed into a corner.
but he's still like a Churchill dog, though, nodding away, going, I'll do whatever you say, mate. But that's on him. I didn't care if slots on Eddie's front door saying, by the way, you can't leave the house today. I'd say you fuck off. I'm sorry. No, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's his agent, Slot, Van Dijk. I didn't care who's telling him to do these things. I don't care who's telling him to do them. He should say, listen, I'll go so far and I'll tell how I don't want to be here. I'll tell the Saudis I don't want to be here. But I'm not going to go on strike, though. That's what I would say. Right?
Yeah.
So it's on Isak. Isak's the person not turning up. Correct? Eddie's
Because
agent
of
got
a
him literally handcuffed to the
combination-
table.
Well,
Or chair.
allegedly, no, we
Well,
haven't we?
I'm certain.
We've got him locked in some
Nah.
basement somewhere.
Isak is
It's just in the afternoons.
Isak's more than listen. He can get his agent to come over and say, "What do you think I should do?" And he might go, "You should go on strike."
Yeah.
Right. Well, you don't have to take that advice, so just because he's telling
No,
you.
but he is. That's what
You know,
he's
jump
doing
off that
because
bridge.
he
Looks
ultimately
great out
wants to get the best deal, and that's
Bollocks.
what
Nah.
his agent
Nah.
is telling him,
What's,
telling him to do.
What's his face? Eze doing at Palace. Now I respect that.
Yeah.
And
So
that's
Eze is
exactly
going to
that's
go
what
to
I'm saying.
Spurs probably.
That's exactly what
But
I'm saying.
bless him, he's there.
There's
you
a
know.
way to go about these kind of things, and very much Wissa's not going about the right way as
No,
well.
he's not, I
If you
agree.
really want to push through a move, do the honourable thing and put in a transfer request. Get rid of all of the add-ons that you wanting to receive,
And
because you are then making it clear to every single person that you want to leave the
Well, I
club.
think
I'm not
refusing
being-
a train does
I
exactly
know.
the same thing.
Yeah,
What difference
But
does
he's-
a
but
transfer request really make? But come on, the
It
guy's
makes
not
it-
even turned up
it
to
makes
training.
money. It makes money.
Money, yeah.
It's money.
I know
That's
that.
100% what it is.
But I'm being really
He's
honest.
ruining his
though.
reputation
Mate,
by
I'm with you
doing
there.
all of this.
I am with you there. But what I'm saying though is, you've got a guy who's not even getting out of bed at the moment for it. Him handing a transfer it literally changes nothing of the situation. Yes, all right, you lose some money. Do you think you're going to sit there and go, "Oh, it's all right"?
No,
You
but
can just lie in bed and wank all day. He's had
No,
a
but
transfer question.
let's.
Like, what difference
We
does that make?
obviously we don't know what the figures are, but then if we don't have to, let's make up numbers. We don't have to pay him £10 million in bonuses, wages, whatever to leave. Then ultimately we could potentially take £10 million less on the transfer fee, which could then make it happen. If the top and bottom of it is Liverpool do not want to pay £150 million. So they're trying to get him to disrupt, move the apple cart, kick up as much of the fuss. So
Just
we
lower
just
the
go,
value. That's what they're
let's
trying to do.
get him out of here. Let's take 120. I admire the club for being hardball on this and saying, no, we're not going to do it.
I'm not saying any of that. I'm going to go right back to what I said. Isak himself is a prick because it's not his
I
advice
agree,
from an agent.
but he is
It's
still
not
getting
advice.
all of that advice.
I'm
He is
not
still
saying
receiving bad advice.
I know that, but he is
Well,
a
that was
man.
my point. So
No,
what are you arguing about?
No, because you're saying that it's almost as if it's
No,
not
Jack,
Isak's
you're
fault.
saying I'm saying that.
Nah,
All I'm saying is he's receiving bad advice.
but he should just say no to the advice then and say no. I'm not doing what
That
you
it
say.
doesn't work like that.
How not? He's a grown man.
I
He can
think-
say whatever he wants to say.
I think at the end of the day, right, like with his agent advising him to do this, do that, we're led to believe, right, that at the end of the day, that's going to get what Isak wants by
Exactly.
doing that. So
So that's why he's following the advice.
if I'm going to
whether he believes it to be right or not.
Isak could be like, well, nah, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to go to train. I'll get me moved that way. He's not getting his move that way. Like,
No, he's probably not right, but I'm sorry, but he's still making that decision.
oh yeah, it's,
So-
it's on him. It's on him
So
as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And he's a prick for doing that. He shouldn't be doing that. That's what I'm saying.
He's an absolute tosser, which leads us down the next. So we've had issues before with players, right? And we'll go back as early as Kabay was probably the last one to say that he wanted to move, he didn't want to play for Newcastle anymore, blah 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 blah. That never happened in regards to
Sissoko was the same.
Sissoko, yeah, he did to a certain extent. But then probably Isak, the way Isak's handled it is being the next level to that. It's gone even further to the point where there's keep on questions coming in. Can he be reintegrated into the team? Blah blah blah. And Eddie Howe's saying all the right things. You expect everything that Eddie's saying. You would expect him to say. He's not going to come out and say, "No, of course not." There's no way back for him. But as a fan's point of view, and Mark, I don't think you were here. You were away. It was the first week you were away, and I mentioned this last week, and it was a question which was raised 2 weeks ago. Is let's say if he does return to Newcastle, right, and he's there wearing black and white stripes, let's say in 5 games' time, I'd say in James's Park, what reception is he going to get? So that question came in, and I was the only one that said he will not get a very good reception at all. It'll be horrendous for him.
No, in that short a time frame, people do not have that shorter memory. Me personally, I would celebrate the goal, but that would be it. I wouldn't be, and I wouldn't. In fairness, I probably wouldn't expect him to be milking a celebration or over celebrating or anything like that. But like if he runs to the corner or something like that to celebrate, so you're not.
So what?
You're not celebrating with him, are you?
Take the goal out of it. He hasn't scored yet.
Yeah,
he's announcing the team, or he comes off the bench.
Yeah, comes off the bench.
What's your thoughts on the crowd at that moment? For that moment,
he's going to get it.
I think.
But you seen at the end of the Villa game what they were chanting?
Yeah,
and he wasn't even there.
Yeah, he's going to get it. Like,
and it's a hard one because if he was on the pitch playing for you, then you do want him to do his best when he's there. There's always that nagging doubt of is he going to give you his best given everything that's gone on.
Always going to be on him.
Yeah. So, and that thought is going to be in people's minds that, oh, well, he's not chasing that ball down. He's not putting in as much effort and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
If we go back to 2 weeks ago, I thought there was an opportunity for that he'd be reintegrated back in because we were adamant we didn't want to sell him, we didn't want to move, although we, potentially did want to go, blah, blah, blah. I think as the time has gone on, it has made like his position, and this is why I'm saying about the advice side of things, is that it's backing into a corner where it's really, really, really difficult to see that being the situation. And I think, and what I would hope the club are looking at is that, right, well, if he is going to go, is there interest elsewhere? Because we've sat and talked about this a load of times. If a Real comes in, a Barcelona, a PSG, he's going to that kind of club. And admittedly, Liverpool are on that level.
Yeah.
You kind of doubt that.
Yeah.
But the way that they've gone about that, the way that the fans have gone on, etc., the ridiculous bid that they made, despite saying that they wouldn't be interested because we'd be knocking them back, etc. The whole situation that's been developed between Liverpool by his agent and by him the player, has been horrendous, and I don't think it is able to go back to any form of relationship about how it was before then.
Has there been a case that where there's been too many bridges burnt now?
Yeah,
they've gone.
Aye, probably. I was actually wanting to ask you because I don't think I've spoken to you about this. Really, like, what's your thoughts on that?
I agree exactly what Mark said. I think a couple of weeks ago, you probably could have seen him getting him maybe a bit of tough love from Eddie, where he was keeping him away from the rest of the lads whilst sort of he was figuring out what was going on. But the fact that he's now doubled down and just outright refused, I think there was talks about, was it a club record fines are going to be handed out to him? Like, that in itself speaks volumes of the whole situation. I'm trying to think back to which manager it was. Any time you come out of the dugout, you're managing us. Pardew, like that level of sort of reception, I feel like you would get if he stayed. But I said this on Saturday, that football fans are really fickle. If you start scoring, it probably eases the blow. But I think it's untenable for him now.
Yeah, I'm with that, and I think certainly on the short term, I'm talking like Michael Owen style stuff he had going on. Because to be fair, I also want to mention the fans of the Villa game there. Outstanding, the timing of what they did, because obviously during the game they've done what they've had to do. They've supported the team as they always do, and then to wait. I'm not saying they knew this, but I feel a lot of them might have. The ones that started it, knew Gordon was getting interviewed right next to the away fans, and then they've went for it, and it was fantastic. It was really, really good. And Howe got interviewed after that, and he said they're totally entitled to back the team for 90 minutes. They can voice their opinion. So I answered it again brilliantly well, almost saying, you know, it is, yeah, you did the right thing.
Almost
It
like
was great, man.
Encouraging that.
Yeah, encouraged it. Yeah, I thought so. But in a way that was like, back for the 90 minutes for the lads out on the field, and then say what you want. And I thought it was brilliant. It really, really was. And I thought the fans did excellent in that moment. Like, but I do feel the short, if he's not going to play against Liverpool, of course, but let's just say he doesn't go and he comes off the bench, say, or he starts, he'll get it. Like,
I honestly think it's beyond repair now. Like, I think
Probably
so
is.
much has happened, and the way that he's handled himself has been an absolute fucking disgrace.
So, would you sell him then? Get rid of him, or would you let him rot?
Well,
We don't have to sell him.
we don't.
But
But we'll probably cut my nose off to spite with face at that point. Like, I would love for the club to be stronger. Fuck you. Like,
And that's-
completely
and
fuck you.
that's-
You're not getting your move. You can sit on you're getting on the fucking bench. Like, don't even bother turning up. Fuck you. Like, you've got 3 years
And
left.
just find him constantly.
You've got 3 years left. That's up to you. Like, if you don't want to get fined, you turn up for training and go about your day as normal, but you will not get a single minute for this football club because of the disrespect that you've shown me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fucking sell him to Liverpool, but the fact that we're maybe forced to do that so we can go and reinvest is a big concern for us. Like, come on, he's messing with the Saudis here. Like, the Saudis won't be fucking happy about him. Like, far from it. And they could possibly use him as an example to the rest of the lads. Go, this is not how you fucking go about it. Like, you want these moves, he's not going to fucking get it, and he's just going to ruin his career.
I could even see a situation of because I think, and I would certainly hope that it's the case, is that the behind closed doors they're very firm on, we will not sell him to Liverpool because of everything that's gone on. So the options on the table could be: does he go on loan to somewhere with a big loan fee for the rest of this season, with an obligation to buy in the summer?
But the issue is, it's got to be an elite club, really, that
Yeah.
he goes to, like something like
But that's what I'm saying,
PSG
so-
or whoever.
So those kind of
Anyone would
clubs,
take him.
yeah,
I would imagine.
under the right terms. I don't know whether they'd be able to pay £150 million now, which is why I'm saying, is there an opportunity for a player and cash deal potentially somewhere where we
It's going to have to be an
benefit
obligation
both of us?
to buy, probably. That's what it's going to have to be,
Yeah.
along with the obligation.
Yeah, because I do think to come back of a little bit. I do want the club to set a precedent of, like, you can't act this way, because what happens when someone comes in for Dolly? Does he just do it? I'm not saying he would. I'm not bashing everyone's character, but it could happen, right? And the club need to. And there's
Gotta be strong.
that silly part of us that really feels, no, let them rot, we don't care. But you know what it is, we really do, because we need the money, we need to reinvest, we need a striker. Because can you imagine? All right, we'll let you rot because you're being a dick, and we'll just run Gordon down the middle for the rest of our life, and Asuda will come on for a minute to go. Well, all right, your season's going to be terrible. So it's not going to work, is it? So I don't know. It's really, really difficult. But I think if Sesko had come in, he would have been gone by now. By the way,
Great.
we've just unfortunately not been able to.
It might be a case where the club might have just went, right, we're just going to have to deal with it this season. We could still sell him at the end of the season and get a fair chunk of money for him. So we'll just take the hit for this transfer window. It's a rolling 3 years, isn't it, when it comes to PSR? So they might go, we'll just take the hit. Like, we'll just fuck him off for the next season.
Yeah, well, maybe. But I don't think, if he does stay beyond the window, so the window closes and he's still here, he will play again.
It's not long.
He will
to
play
go.
again.
I think he probably will.
He will.
If we don't get somebody else in.
So you think if we get someone in, let's say it was West, even though they want £1 billion from him,
I think it'd be last resort that Isaac starts. Yeah.
be mad, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Mad.
Because what Mark said, I think the spotlight's going to be on him and every single time. Let's say if he comes back, right? I think for that to happen, he's probably going to have to do a lot of groveling to the fan base in regards
He's
to
100% going to have to
gonna
come cap in hand.
possibly release some sort of statement saying,
yeah.
I'm apologize, I've handled it the complete wrong way, blah, 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 which is probably going to go down like a lead balloon anyway, even if he does that, but he has to do that. And
Just blame his agent.
he's probably going to have to bin his agent off as well, because there's so many who were saying, his agent's at fault, blah, 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 blah. He's going to have to bin him off as well.
Well, his agent's already been banned from dealing with certain clubs.
He's dodgy as
He's
fuck.
got
Has he?
he's got
dodgy
a
as fuck.
reputation for this, apparently.
Something to do with
obviously
Chelsea
he's
as well,
like his
wasn't it?
biggest client, like, but
Yeah.
And
But-
Martinez is obviously another one that was away
Yeah,
at the end of the
I've seen that, and
season.
He's got the same agent.
It's the same agent.
I think because it's one of these, you know, he may be gone. No, now look, he'll be gone by Wednesday or something. Because normally that always happens.
Oh,
when
as soon as we
record.
press end
Oh,
stream,
done.
Liverpool 120 mil. Bye.
But like, even if he does do all of these steps to sort of get back on side, we all know what they're all fake. This apology, a statement here, a statement there, a camera with Janet on his knee or something. Whatever they're gonna do, some sort of video or something. It's all gonna be now, man. It's all shite. You know what I mean? Janet's the girl off Ramsdale's video, just in case I know who the fuck's Janet. Like.
So we'll go through the rest of the clip.
Don't worry, pet.
At least it wasn't the guy from the pizza shop.
Right. So next question is from Tony Timebridge. That says, do you think Ramsey was forced out of Villa for PSR, or did he want to leave? I think it's well publicised. PSR isn't
I
it?
think it's a bit of both. In fairness, I think that if they didn't have he's coming off the back of his injury issues, potentially not going to be getting as many games. It's like the Elliot Anderson one, isn't it? It works for both parties. That's ultimately the reason the deal's been done.
He's that he did like welcome people feel like he does mention like he feels how we'll be able to kick him to the next level and he needed a fresh start, etc. I suppose that's easy to say when you're sitting in a new chair. I get it, right? But then I read a few things from Jesus Christ, what's his name? Mings for them, and there was another player. Them weren't happy that he had not. I'm not saying the word.
McGinn, I think the one was.
Yeah, McGinn it was.
One
They
of
just
them
weren't.
said, like,
yeah.
I don't want to hear a bad said about it.
I
Something
would
like that.
do happy, and I agree with PSR hand. That's probably pushed
Similar
them.
situation with us with Elliot Anderson. I think it's because
Yeah.
your homegrown players, your local lads, bring the most money into the club.
Yeah, and
That's not right.
Their gaffer. Sorry, I've had a. Yeah, I forgot his name.
Emery.
Yeah, Emery in their program notes again said that as saying like, it's difficult. Like he says, we accept it. That's what it is, and we'll do the best we can. But you're creating a close shot.
A very, very sort of Villa into what we have been.
100%. And they're even having to entertain the Liam Bailey leaving as well to try and make a bit
It's
of
mental
money.
as well because they sold John Duran was that in January?
He was Saudi, wasn't it?
Yeah. Diaby went for big money. They've having Watkins is obviously touted as well, who would have fetched a pretty penny. They've Jacob Ramsey. So just goes to show you like the state of clubs that aren't the big six. But PSR wasn't invented for them apparently.
Protect everybody else. Bollocks.
Boss.
Let's see if there's any more. This one is from Shorzy. That says, do you think we should change formation next week or keep it the same? I'll ask you that, Mark. We're still here. He's just thinking.
We've gone to that almost back five in these types of games, haven't we? But then we've always done an outlet up front.
I think we still have an outlet in regards to like counter attack because the pace on those three is electric.
We do, but you then look at obviously they've got Van Dijk and probably Canati. That'll be the.
I mean, he looked terrible, and I like him, but he
two.
looked terrible again.
Van Dijk was running away from the ball constantly.
Hi, that was odd.
We'll get chances. I think. I honestly think we'll get chances.
It's going to be, and Alanga could be the one, given Robertson likes to get forward a lot on the left if he starts as well. That there might be the opportunity for space in behind to do that. So I don't.
Was it Kirk as the starter left back, wasn't it? Was it?
Yeah, it was.
And then he brought him on.
Frimpong, I like him, but that Kirk has looked terrible.
Yeah,
He went in flying on one challenge.
Yeah, he did. I thought he looked really gettable. My mate had a good game, didn't he, Semenyo?
That great game.
No, I think
Frimpong was stinking.
I think we'll stay the same. I feel we'll stay the same. I think Gordon will be up top again. I think he'll. And you know, even though I know I've said that I'd rather have him back out left, it was one game, and I feel that we need to roll the dice again with that. I wouldn't say it didn't work. I know we didn't score a goal, sorry, but we still did okay. And I think how we'll go again with the same lot. Like
the only issue is we've tried it a number of times last season, potentially even the season before, because we've sat and talked about Gordon up front, and yes, he can play there, but it's not his best position. It's never really worked.
I was quite surprised
money
because
coming
obviously
in.
we played Gordon through the middle against Spurs pre-season, but it seemed that he had more like a free role and he was just floating about across the front three. Whereas I felt on Saturday he was maintained quite central, so I'm surprised there wasn't any rotation between the wingers and the forward position. So
I think
don't know
that
if
was
that
just
comes
more
into
for the
it.
press though
Yeah.
than anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's and that's what like we're saying with those three, and that's why again I was frustrated at the weekend is that you didn't see more of that because you did have the ability with having the extra man and having three players that can play in those three positions to do more of it. They did just stay very, very high.
I'm going to end it on this final one. It was from one of our members, Woody. You can become a member, it's just $2.99 a month. He says, what do you think the crowd has to play? What role do you think the crowd has to play next Monday? Reckon we have to make it the most toxic environment imaginable for Liverpool. I think that's going to come anyway.
Yeah.
This is going to
Bank
be
holiday as well,
unbelievable.
isn't it?
This is going to be
Bank holiday. Aye.
This is going to be unbelievable. Like, I'm telling you, this is.
They're going to have free Isaac banners and all sorts, and they're going to be giving it.
They're
Big
not
licks
going to
on
have
the-
great like
They
that.
are,
I reckon
they
they will, you know,
100% will be. They will.
I mean, not
They
all of them. I
absolutely
reckon
will.
there'll be one or two knobheads that'll do it.
I'm not so sure because I think a lot of that's coming from just online overseas fans. I think that's a lot where that's coming from.
It wouldn't surprise us. Like.
I've
you
just
reckon?
been away, and there was a family of what was like the mum and dad who were the grandparents, three sets of they were obviously all brothers and sisters because that would be from Sunderland, not Liverpool. But like three kids who then had their own families, all Scousers, all three of them were season ticket holders. They were all. Oh well, you just need to let him leave. Just sell him. He has to come to the club, and that.
Easy as that.
I went to
Exactly.
Flamingo
That's
Land.
the top and bottom of it.
I was at Flamingo Land, and on 3 rides there was Liverpool fans. Every time I went past on the ride, because then when the queue were going, Isak, lad, what about Isak? Get them go. And every time I went past on the ride, I'm like, what are you doing?
Should have been. Oh, he's in that rat
What
exhibition
are
now.
you
are
doing? You're in a Flamingo Land queue giving me a grief about Isak. Like, really mental crack going on. Like. But it'll be white hot on Monday night. I mean, literally,
it'll be loud.
it's going to be a beer-fueled nighttime game. And we've seen it many times before, haven't we, where it's loud. It's loud. Joe Linton is just going to be body slamming people. It's just going to be hell on. It's going to be hell on.
So this.
And there's the added spice of Ekatike.
I'm not asked about him.
He'll get it now.
Yeah.
He'll get
Oh,
it.
he'll get it, but I'm not
He'll
that
get
asked.
it.
I think so. When a player is normally injured or suspended, you'll see them at St James's Park.
Not a chance.
Isak's going to be
Not
nowhere
a chance.
Fucking,
Well, he's
yeah.
not. He's not even
Screw the
going.
Liverpool fans.
He's not even going to the PFA awards this week.
Oh shit! Yeah, because he's been advised not to do that
Yeah.
as well.
His thigh's that bad.
Gotta get on the stairs. I think.
Can't believe he's
scarf
listening to his
on.
advisor again.
Yeah, Liverpool scarf on, watching them stand in the box.
It's like he's not going to be anywhere near the club, is he?
No, I we'll definitely not see him until the window shuts. If he's still here, of course, but we'll not see him. No, definitely not. No, nothing at all.
It's gotten to that point where you don't want to see him
Oh,
again,
God, no.
and that's
He
when
can
you
get
just
fucked.
ship him off, send him abroad,
Yeah, can get fucked.
sullied his legacy.
I am going to end it with the final topic tonight.
Said that 5 minutes ago.
No, that was the final question.
Oh, okay.
This is a topic.
Okay.
So you
Topic.
You
Never
lads,
say topics anymore.
you.
Those chocolate
I'm sure we've
bars.
had this conversation about topics
I-
before.
Weren't they in celebrations?
I'm sure this is exactly the fucking conversation.
Celebrations a
we had.
topic.
Oh, I don't think so. mate.
Oh, I
Oh,
can't-
no, hold on. Yeah, celebration. I'm sure they
They're in
were.
one of them.
Yeah.
You know the ones with bounties and remember Galaxy truffles?
Yes.
Oh, they were
Oh,
the
they
good.
were the
Oh,
best.
they're the best.
Unbelievable.
Right, I'm gonna get onto it. Right, so members will know this, and you lads know this. Is this season we are doing a prediction leaderboard. So every single match day, myself, Mark, Decker, and Bestie are going to have a score prediction for the upcoming fixture, and we've also going to be asking for a member to get involved each week as well. This week, the predictions were Decker went for a 2-1 Villa win. Bestie done the same 2-1 Villa win. Mark went for a
1-1.
1-1. I went for a 1-1. And the members'
3-1.
choice was a 3-1 Newcastle United win. So what we decided that's going to be the
Obviously
correct
on the drink.
the correct score is going to get 3 points. And if you get the correct team to either win the game, draw the game, whatever it is, you get 1 point for that. So our current leaderboard after one game, you have myself and Mark, top of the league on 1 point. Bestie, Decker, and the members on 0.
Member should be on 0 point minus points for that prediction.
Points off
Taking
them.
them
So
off.
when do you need one for next Monday? Or week today, sorry. When do you need it?
So we'll do that at some point during
Okay,
the week.
cool.
We'll do a predictions at some point during the week. But if you do want to get involved with that, if you are already a member, just drop us a message in that Telegram group as well, and we'll pick at random for anybody that wants to get involved as well. If you do want to become a member, it is just $2.99 a month. You get early access to videos, you get extra videos. There is a weekly quiz coming out as well, which is going to be based on the upcoming fixture. So Joe did it last week, where it was a quiz all related to Newcastle v Villa over the years.
Except the one that he had against Spurs.
Yeah, apart from you put a random Spurs one in there, because you trusted AI to do his quiz questions. Never trust it, mate. Never trust it. I'm hosting this one, and I think it's Andy versus Matty on this one.
Hasn't quite got the same ring, that has it?
Mark versus
Matty.
Nah, it doesn't. So yeah, we're looking forward to that one as well. But thanks everybody who has joined us. We've just had a new member in as well in the process. So thanks. Corvo. We shall see us next time around, and big week ahead. I don't know what we're going to do for the podcast next week because we're at the game.
Yeah, well, Wednesday we're doing the preview, I think, aren't we? Me and
Yes,
I'm on
there's
that
a
one, I think,
preview.
this week.
Yeah, there's previews going out. There's all sorts going out. But yeah,
But Monday we'll not have one because we'll
Yeah.
be at the match.
yeah, exactly that. We'll see you next time, whenever that'll be. See you later. Fuck you, Zach.